certainty of death, small chance of success. What are we waiting for?
Fellas, I feel this is my lucky day.
Brilliant.
Hey, welcome to another episode of Rankum with on Tape 3. It's going to be a fun topic today. We're talking about live-action animation hybrid movies. I'm going to go a small panel today, but it's good because it means we don't have to worry about it going for 3.5 hours this week. But I've got Brian. Brian, how's it going?
It's great, very good. Great to be back here. Great to talk about animation hybrid. There are some that were hard to find that I've seen that will make the list.
And also here we've got Richie. Richie, how's it going?
Good to see you guys. Good to see what everyone comes up with, and yeah, it'll be fun.
But yeah, I mean, for this one, I'm allowing them to be a little bit loose for the topic, just because, like, I was going through the list myself. It's like there's definitely some which I really enjoy that count for this, in my opinion, but there's also a lot of questions about other ones that have been talked about. So I'm just going to see what comes up, and we'll let you debate what makes the list when I put up the poll tomorrow. But with that being said, go to Brian. Brian, what was the first movie you're going to nominate?
The first film I'm going to bring up is Who Framed Roger Rabbit. This film, I love to use how you got mostly Disney characters, Warner Brother characters, and then some of the same scene, and even to this day, it still holds up from the 80s.
Richie, what do you say about Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Yeah, it's on my list. We'll get into it afterwards with when you listen. I would say better one. So better one, and yeah, it still holds up. It's still a classic. It definitely deserves inclusion on here.
Yeah, this is definitely the obvious one for me as well. There's definitely quite a few obvious ones for this list, and this is one of them. This is an absolute yes. For me, the duck battle between Daffy Duck and Donald Duck is just entertaining. But Who Framed Roger Rabbit makes the list, and we move over to Richie.
All right, I'm gonna come up eventually, but I'm gonna go up with one that I think rated that didn't get enough love when it came out. But yeah, and I'm gonna go with Looney Tunes Back in Action. I think this movie's fun. I think it's fun. I love Steve Martin, big cartoonish villain. It's great. I miss Elfman in movies. I think she's got this great charisma about her, and I wish she would sort of make a comeback in that regard. And yeah, this is just a really fun movie. Back when before Brendan Fraser just disappeared off the face of the earth. It was really fun. So yeah, I'm going to say Looney Tunes.
In my opinion, this is the best Looney Tunes animation hybrid movie. I haven't seen the sequel to Space. I haven't seen Space Jam 2 yet, so I don't know if that is better. But I love this. This is an absolute yes for me. Brian, what do you say about Looney Tunes Back in Action?
I'm going to give it a yes. This is very underrated, and this is a film that deserves a sequel better than Space Jam. And I also love the cameo we got from Michael Jordan in this film as well.
But yeah, it's on to me next. For me, I'm going to bring up Mary Poppins. While this movie is mostly live action, there is one or two scenes which is animation hybrid, and to me, that still counts. Because it's not like it's a quick shot of animation and hybrid, and it's a significant part of the movie. But like Mary Poppins is a fun movie. This one belongs on the list. And yeah, I've talked about Mary Poppins a lot of times on Rankin, but this is fun. Brian, what do you say about Mary Poppins?
This has to be on the list. This is like one of the most iconic films to plan live action and hand-drawn animation, way before CGI, and yes, it deserves a spot on this list.
And Richie, what would you have said about Mary Poppins?
Yeah, no, definitely. I understand that it's like not like fully, live action hybrid, but yeah, as you said, the animation, the art with like with penguins and stuff. So yeah, it definitely deserves inclusion.
But with that, we go over to Brian for his next nomination.
For this one, I'm going to go with Enchanted. Yes, it's mostly live action, but we do get some animation in the film with with Susan Sarandon's character and Timmy Spall's character interacting, and I will give it a shot for Enchanted.
Richie, what do you say about Enchanted?
Going to be honest, man, I'm going to go over to you because I haven't seen it.
Yeah, unfortunately, this isn't making the list because I also haven't seen it.
You should have to give it a chance. It's so good.
I mean, once they put it on the Plus, I'll get a chance to see it. But with that, we move over to Richie for the next nomination.
All right, I said I wasn't going to go obvious straight away, but I'm going to. So we're doing this topic based on this. So I'm going to say, so I'm going to say space. This is a huge part of, obviously, huge part of childhood. Had all the toys and stuff. Had I remember used to go on the Space Jam. It's still up, by the way. It is. It's one of those ones that I think it was the website was built in 1996. It is a very cool website. So and I watched this about. I had a game of it, and I watched the movie probably about 15 times. I watched it sort of maybe more recently, a couple. I would probably say maybe I had a bit of nostalgia goggles on when I didn't enjoy it as much, but it's still fun. I think just seeing the idea of seeing the Blue Tunes interact with these Bill Murray and all that stuff is still kind of cool. So yeah.
Richie, you are breaking up quite a lot. But
yeah, he's kind of frozen a little bit.
I mean, I did hear what you said. I know you nominated Space Jam, so I heard enough to know what you're talking about. So
yeah, all right.
But yeah, Space Jam. This is an absolute yes for me. Well,
you're muted, man.
Yeah, it's on mute. So I can't hear you.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you go.
There you go.
Now.
Okay, maybe my mic fell out a little bit. But yeah, Space Jam is an absolute yes to me. While there's people out there's like, yeah, it's not that good. It's all just nostalgia. I like nostalgia. It is fun. Nostalgia's fun. Space Jam is great. It belongs on this list. Brian, what would you have said about Space Jam?
It's time to get up, time to slam it down. Welcome to the Space Jam. You're on the list.
Mm-hmm.
All right. But yeah, for my next pick, I'm going to got two options here. I'm going to go for the Lego Movie. This is another one which may be a little bit iffy, but to me, this counts because one, they do have the characters interacting in the live action world a little bit at the end, but it's just one of those ones that is fun. Well, yes, the live action set pieces is more just on either side of the movie. It's a fun movie. Like Chris Pratt is born to play Emmett. Will Ferrell as the father. It's something I didn't expect, but it was fun. But yeah, Lego Movie. Brian, what do you say?
I'm going to give it a yes, even though I agree it doesn't use that much live action, but it's still kind of a hybrid with the live action characters talking to to the Lego characters.
And Richie, what do you have said about the Lego Movie?
Yeah, I honestly didn't think of this one. But can you tell the story, by the way?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right, cool.
Yep.
I didn't think I didn't come up, but yeah, it technically is. Yeah, I've been said a lot before, like when the idea of when Lego Movie first was bandied about and with the like you're like I don't know how this is going to work. This just seems like a weird idea, and yeah, it sort of blew me away with how kind of entertaining, funny it was, and sort of just almost how kind of adult it was as well. So, but yeah, so yeah, and I did get why. Yeah, I so yeah, that it.
But Brian, what is your next nomination?
Okay, this one I'm going to take a chance out. I'm going to go with Final Fantasy 3, even though it has some live action segments in the second part of it, with Mickey Beanstalk, like you got Jiminy Cricket and Edgar Bergen, same scene. Even toward the end of it, you got the giant talking to Edgar Bergen at the end. So yeah, that's my pick.
Richie, what do you say about Fun and Fancy Free?
Okay, I've never heard of this movie. I've got to say no. I've got to abstain. I don't. I've never. This is the first time I've heard of this movie.
Yeah, I mean I've heard of it. It's one of Disney's packaged movies, but I've never seen it. It's just not been one that I've wanted to go see. I'm going through all Disney animation movies anyway as rewatch or watching, so I'll probably hit it eventually. But Richie, what is your next nomination?
All right. This next one might be a bit weird. Because I love this movie, and technically it counts because it does have like an animation character in it at some point, but he's on a different part. And this movie's dumb, but I love it. The height of Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'm gonna go Last Action here. Yeah, this movie is really stupid, but like it's just it's like if you just want to like for me Sunday afternoon, turn your brain off movie, and then and then like there's just for a reason there's like a cartoon cat in the middle of it. So yeah, that's why it counts in my opinion. So yeah, Last Action Hero.
Yeah, this is one I didn't think of. I know I've seen it a few times. On some other lists I've been looking through. When researching this topic. I like this movie. So I mean, it's definitely got a animated character in there that's interacting with live action. So I'm going to say yes. So it makes the list. Brian, what do you say about Last Action Hero?
I'm going to give it a slight no, just because it was the other film made the list.
Last Action Hero has made the list, and it's on me. For my next one, I'm going to save that one because reasons. I'm going to go the SpongeBob SquarePants movie. Look, this is a guilty pleasure of mine. Like, and once again, like the whole probably third act or so of this movie is SpongeBob and Patrick walking through a live action beach or shop and stuff. So it counts. Look, say what you want about SpongeBob. The first movie was great. The sequels, not so much. But yeah, this is just a lot of fun. And it's also one of those ones which if to this day, even no matter how many times I know that Scarlett Johansson is in this movie, I still don't believe people when people tell me that. But Brian, what do you say about the SpongeBob SquarePants movie?
I'm going to give it a yes. I mean, you have SpongeBob and Patrick with David Hasselhoff in the third act, and how he manages to transform into some type of machine toward the end. And this is all fun, and I'll give us a yes.
Richie, what would you have said about the SpongeBob SquarePants movie?
Yeah, I'd have said yes. That's another one I didn't really think about. But yeah, it's certainly, like you said, certainly better than the ones that come after it, especially the later one, latest one. But yeah, it's a good movie and yeah, deserves inclusion. So
I mean, this may be a hot take. I think the recent one that came out is better than the second one, so there's that. But Brian, what is your next nomination?
This one, I'm going to go with Bedknobs and Broomsticks. It counts because towards like the end of the second act, beginning third act, you have like the whole family in the hand drawn ocean. Even you have like David Tomlinson coaching all animal soccer football team, and it does. And for me, this is my pick.
Richie, what do you say about Bedknobs and Broomsticks?
gonna have to go to you, man. Haven't seen it.
But yeah, I mean, for me, I've only actually seen this very recently, because it's one that I'd missed for a long time, but it's one I managed to catch up with on Disney Plus. But yeah, this is an absolute yes for me. I think this is a fun movie. And yeah, it is definitely live action animation. Because I mean, and if you need further proof, just look at the poster.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, it makes the list. And we move over to Richie.
Okay. This might be where we say no here. But like is this next movie great? No. But is it can you have fun with it? Yeah. And this movie got shit on like when it came out. But like I don't know. I think maybe people have grown to appreciate it a little bit. But I'm gonna go Rocky and Bullwinkle. Yeah, like I mean, this movie, I think there's enjoyment here. Like like Rob, I don't know what Robert De Niro is doing in this movie, but he's there. But yeah, I think there's enough fun to have where you can. It's not like a bad movie necessarily. So I mean, it's not the greatest sell to have this on this list, but I think I'm gonna nominate it anyway.
But yeah, I mean, I do have fun with Rocky and Bullwinkle. You know what? I like chaos, and it's definitely not the worst movie that we could put on this list that is an animation live action. However, there's a couple of movies that are worse than this that I really don't want to see on this list. And I honestly, I thought you were going with one of those ones when you started your spiel, but I'm going to embrace chaos to say yes to Rocky and Bullwinkle. Brian, what do you say about Rocky and Bullwinkle?
I'm going to give it a yes. This is a guilty pleasure of mine, and I really love. I quite enjoy Robert De Niro on this, and I never knew Jason Alexander was born to play Boris.
Yeah.
With that, we move over to me, and we've only got 3 spots left.
We're flying through this.
It's like the shortest one.
I mean, the voting could drag it out a little bit.
Yeah.
But for me, the next movie I'm going to nominate is. Let's see how this goes. I'm going to go James and the Giant Peach. This is one that most people may not think about because it is stop motion as opposed to traditional animation or even CGI. But this one definitely does count because there's the live action scenes throughout this when because it shows James as a real life person, then he becomes stop motion when he gets onto the beach and they start that part of the adventure. I mean, I'm a big fan of Roald Dahl books. All in all, and this is one that when I heard there's a movie of it, I was kind of trepidatious because I really loved the book, and so I went in, and I really enjoyed this movie. This is a lot of fun. Brian, what do you say about James and the Giant Peach?
I'm going to give it a yes. It's on my list, and I agree, Malcolm. People don't really know that it's mostly stop motion when compared to animation, and this film's a lot of fun.
Richie, what do you have to say about James and the Giant Peach?
I haven't seen this movie in a long time, but I do remember enjoying it, and yeah, it is stop motion. I would have said yes.
Brian, what is your next nomination?
This one, I'll go with the Jungle Book 2016. Even though it's CGI and there's one actor, and this is like my favorite live action remake Disney had done. And I want to see how this goes.
Richie, what do you say about the Jungle Book?
Oh man, look! I like the movie, I really do. But I know you talked about like your own interpretation of it, and that's cool. Is it? I know it's Disney live action, whatever. It's like, but then are they? I guess technically it can. Look, I hate to put this put this you, Malcolm, but I'm gonna what you say. I'm gonna say no, but I don't mind if it.
Yeah, as I said in the chat, this is one that I really don't count. While yes, it is mostly animation, and Mowgli's the only human real life actor there. Like, it's just one of those ones because it's been a while since I've seen it, but I don't think we see any other the Mowgli interacting in any other live action settings, and it's one of those ones. It is built as a live action remake as opposed to hybrid. So, as I said, you can bring it up, but we'll see what happens. And unfortunately, it is going to be not making this list. But yeah, I mean, it was a tough one. It did cause me to stop and think about it a little bit when you brought it up in the chat. But yeah, Richie, we go to you. What is your next nomination?
All right, this might be a movie that you can bring it before. I don't know, but like you mentioned the Lego movie before, and another movie in that franchise didn't get. I think kind of just and it's not put together too, obviously, but it didn't get as much attention, and I think it has good moments, really funny moments. The Lego Ninjago movie, which technically live, they don't brag, but Jackie Chan as a live action person. So,
Yeah, this is. There's only 2 spots left. I mean, I'm going to put this out there. I like the Lego Ninjago movie. It is fun. Unfortunately, I am going to say no, just because there's a few others that I think blend live action and animation a little bit better and actually do interact in that setting. But I don't blame you. I think this is a good choice to bring up. I'm saying no. It is on Brian. Brian, what do you say about the Lego Ninjago movie?
Haven't seen it.
Unfortunately, it does not make this list. And we move. It's me. So I'm going to go for another movie in the 90s because apparently there's a few movies in the 90s that did live action animation hype. I'm going the Pagemaster. This is a fun movie. It's got Christopher Lloyd,
Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah, and then you've got voices like Whoopi Goldberg, a whole bunch of star-studded cast there. But I mean, this is one of those ones which is a lot of fun. It gives escaping into a book a whole new meaning. Because it's basically like Macaulay Culkin gets dragged into this into books, and it's just one of those ones. It's a lot of fun, and it like in a way I think it was made to encourage people to read books more. Whether or not this helps, I don't know. But Brian, what do you say about the Pagemaster?
This film pretty fun. I love seeing love seeing Christopher Lloyd as this crazy librarian who ends up becoming like the Pagemaster himself. Even love seeing like Patrick Stewart, Whoopi Goldberg lend their voices.
So was that a yes or no?
Yes.
That was a yes. It makes this. Richie, what do you have said about the Pagemaster?
Yeah, I didn't even think of this. It's a very underrated movie, and you know, I like, you know, I do enjoy it. I did enjoy it when I watched it. I haven't watched it in years, but yes, yeah, it's a worthy inclusion.
We've got one spot left. Brian, do you have the movie for that spot?
This one I'm gonna go with. Let's see. Should I go with one or the other? I'll go with Paddington 2. Even though it does have some CGI in there, it's sort of my another interpretation of what I think a hybrid is.
Yeah, I mean, Richie, I'll go to you first. What do you say about Paddington 2?
I feel like if we said no to Jungle Book, we can't really justify saying yes to this. But if I counted it, it would be up on top of my list. This is one of my favorite movies. They're one of the this movie's the best. But I don't know. Look, I'll you know what, I'll get the blow back in the chat. I'm going to say no.
Yeah, yeah. This is one that I see. This came up really early on the chat. This is one that I am absolutely saying no to. While yes, I kind of respect that CGI does count as animation and all that. To me, this is the reverse of the Jungle Book because Paddington is the only animated character. If there was a lot more like animated sequences in which like it has him coming out of a book or something, just some way to make this more of a hybrid, then I probably would have said yes, but unfortunately I am saying no to Paddington. As much as I hate to do that because I love this movie as well. But with that, Richie, do you have the movie to fill in the final spot?
You know what? I doubt it. I'm running out of things. But I'm going to. There's one movie I'm sure that you thought I was thinking of before, and look, I'm not gonna. It's not gonna be a tough sell, but like, you know, like maybe you can have fun with this, but like, you know, you're going to say no, but the only one I can think of at the moment, I'm gonna go with Cool World with Brad Pitt. You know, I think that you can have fun with this movie. Yeah, is it great? No, but like, you know, there's definitely, I think there's different action hybrids out there. So there you go. Cool World.
I've actually never seen this. I know that Cool World. He falls in love with a animated rabbit. I think is from what I've heard, but
yeah,
I haven't got around to actually seeing this. This is one that I've actually wanted to see just for curious sake. I mean, I've heard people say it's not a good movie, but it's one that I've heard so much about it. It's a Brad Pitt movie that's like, really, he did this. So yeah, Brian, what do you say about Cool World?
I have not seen Cool World. All I know about this is that it's like Mark Bernard in the Showdown.
Alright. It's on me now. You know what? I'm going to go for this. We've already got the first one on here. I'm going to go for Mary Poppins Returns. Same reason as the first Mary Poppins. Like, there's a significant sequence that is all animated. Just because they went into a world. But once again, I love this. Like, and this might be a hot take, but I think Emily Blunt is really good at encompassing Mary Poppins and bringing the way she is interpreted in the book of Mary Poppins to life. While Julie Andrews is good with her version of Mary Poppins, I think Emily Blunt is a more accurate to the book Mary Poppins, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
But Brian, what do you say about Mary Poppins Returns?
I'll give it a yes. Why not? It's a great sequence using animation, bringing back hand drawn animation after like 10 or 11 years, and it's great to see hand drawn animation again.
And Richie, what do you have said about Mary Poppins Returns?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like, I would say, like, we're getting, like, with our last picks, we're getting down to, where it's like we're kind of slim pickings here, and I think Mary Poppins Returns is a good movie, and yeah, I can't speak to your take on whether her interpretation of in regards to the books because I've never seen it, but I never read them, never read the books, but yeah, like this is fun. I think this could go. I think that's not out of place.
Um, but with that, we've reached the end of. We've got our 12, so just to recap the 12 we've got Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Looney Tunes Back in Action, Mary Poppins, Space Jam, Lego Movie, Last Action Hero, SpongeBob SquarePants Movie, Bedknobs and Broomsticks, Rocky and Bullwinkle, James and the Giant Peach, The Pagemaster, and Mary Poppins Returns. Brian, do you have any honorable mentions left?
Yes, I had the Incredible Mr. Limpet. I had Christopher Robin, Peace Dragon, and I had Elf.
And Richie, did you have any honorable mentions left?
No, I had I had I had Pete's Dragon as well. Well, I didn't bring it up because I didn't know how much counted, but The Life Aquatic of Steve Zissou, the Wes Anderson movie. I was thinking about bringing it up, but I wasn't 100% sure. But it does have animation and style in it. Yeah, yeah, like, I mean, in terms of like movies that have animation in it, but they don't necessarily interact. There's also like, there's an animated sequence, I guess, in Kill Bill. So I wasn't gonna bring it up, but like because they don't really interact, but like that is something that you could make an argument for, I guess. But yeah, other than that, no.
Yeah, for me, like I had Lego Movie 2 on my list. I was trying to stay away sequels, but like Mary Poppins Returns was the last one I've tried to decide. So I don't really have much options. I had both versions of Pete's Dragon because both of them are actually live action animation hybrids. And a couple of dishonorable mentions, I did have Rockadoodle and Osmosis Jones. They were both terrible movies. I'm glad they never came out.
I thought you were gonna bring up Yogi Bear or something.
I was going to with you, but it won't count.
Yeah, I mean, Yogi Bear is the same kind of thing as, to me, as Penton. Well, yeah, like there's probably more CGI there because you got the whole bear family there. But anyway, it's time to get into the voting portion. So just gonna write down what we want at 12.
All right, can you give me? I'll just get my board. I haven't got my board here.
All good. But yeah, I mean, like other ones that I actually haven't seen that did come up when I was doing my research on this. There was the 40s movie Anchors Away, which you got the animated mouse
Oh
in
yeah,
there.
yeah.
An Australian movie called The Little Convict, which is got Wolf Harris in there. But I've heard that it's a lot of controversial now because of Wolf Harris being involved. Xanadu is another one that came up when I was doing my research. There's this movie called Evil Toons, which I've never heard of before.
Never heard of it either.
And also another Brendan Fraser movie, Monkey Bone, which kind of
Yeah, I heard about that one.
yeah, and that's one I've never seen, but it's one that I've
It's not
really
great. It's not great. I've seen it. I knew about it. Wasn't going to be. Yeah. Just recap of what we got.
Yep, I can do that. So what we've got on the list, we've got Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Looney Tunes Back in Action, Mary Poppins, Space Jam, The Lego Movie, The Last Action Hero, SpongeBob SquarePants Movie, Bedknobs and Broomsticks, Rocky and Bullwinkle, James and John Peach, The Pagemaster, and Mary Poppins Returns. But for me, I've got
Same.
Last Action Hero. Like as much as I love the movie,
Same,
there's only
Fast Action Hero.
Yeah. Yeah. Keep going. Keep going. Yeah. I had Rocky and Bullwinkle. Yeah.
Brian, what do you have for 11?
Lego Movie.
Richie, what do you have for 11?
On board Rocky and Bullwinkle.
Yeah, I've got Rocky and Bullwinkle as well. Richie, what do you have for 10?
Bedknobs and Broomsticks.
Brian, what do you have for 10?
Same, Lego. Still going with Lego Movie.
But yeah, we've got a few A types. I've got the Pagemaster. I know there's two people watching. So whoever the first one I see that comes up. So the Pagemaster Lego Movie.
Bedknobs Broomsticks, I believe.
Or Bedknobs and Broomsticks. What one should be 10? And as I bring up the actual YouTube video, is sometimes that the delay between. Oh, okay, Chris there's got in first, and he said the Pagemaster is going to be 10.
All right.
Brian, what do you have for 9?
Still going with Lego Movie.
Richie, what do you have for 9?
Bedknobs and Broomsticks.
Chris says is going to be making another decision. So I put Space Jam. So Space Jam, Bedknobs and Broomsticks, or the Lego Movie. What should be 9? And the first comment I see pop up will be the deciding vote. 9. But I will give it a few minutes. Otherwise, I will go get a wheel organised.
Yeah.
Hopefully, by the time I finish making this wheel, there will be some kind of decision made. Space Jam, Bedknobs,
Broomstick.
and Lego. Alright, I don't have
I'll see the comments.
nothing from no comment. Yep, yep. So Chris, you got Space Jam, Lego Movie, or Bedknobs and Broomsticks. What do you think? What do you want at 9? You're the deciding vote there. And I'll give you a few minutes. Otherwise, I will spin the wheel and save for any dead air. But the wheel is made. It's all sorted. And I'm just gonna go because
Space
oh,
Jam.
and I thought I was the only one with a hot take with putting it this low.
Yeah.
Right. Brian, what do you have for 8?
Still going with Lego Movie.
Richie?
Bedknobs and Broomsticks.
And yeah, I'm going with Bedknobs and Broomsticks. Move on to 7. Richie, what do you have for
7.
Yeah.
Very popular.
I've got Looney Tunes back in action as Brian.
Another tie, Lego Movie.
So Chris, Looney Tunes back in action, Lego Movie, or what was the one you said, Richie? Mary Poppins Returns. And Chris said Mary Poppins Returns.
Can you give me a recap of what we have left?
I will do. just give me a minute while I finish making sure I've got everything sort of marked down on my end.
Yeah.
Yep, so what we've got left, we've got Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Looney Tunes Back in Action, Mary Poppins, Lego Movie, Spongebob Squarepants Movie, James and the Giant Peach, and that's it.
All right.
Brian, what do you have for 6?
Goldfish running Jane the Giant Peach.
Richie, what do you have for 6?
Looney Tunes Back in Action.
And I've got Looney Tunes Back in Action as well. Richie, what do you have for 5?
James and the Giant Peach.
I've also got James and the Giant Peach. Brian?
I changed my vote to Lego Movie.
And unfortunately, not Enchanted to make it on. Me and
I
Richie
brought
have
it
not
up, but the rest
it was brought up. Me and Richie just haven't seen it, so yeah. We're on to 4, and we've got Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Mary Poppins, Lego Movie, and SpongeBob.
Thank you. Let's change my thing. Hang on.
But Brian, who do you have? What do you have it for?
So Lego Movie.
Richie, what do you have it for?
SpongeBob.
Yeah, only one of these 4 lives on Pineapple Under the Sea, and that's SpongeBob SquarePants. So SpongeBob SquarePants movie is going to be 4. I don't know if I can't believe I actually said that, because for some reason I thought that might have been a little bit lower, but never mind.
I mean, it made it top 5, so.
Alright. Richie, what do you have at 3?
Mary Poppins.
I've got the Lego Movie. Brian?
Same here, Lego Movie. And now for number 1.
Yep. And it is either Mary Poppins or Roger Rabbit. But Richie, what do you have at 1?
Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Yeah, I mean, on Letterboxd, my personal number one is Mary Poppins, but in terms of people can still hear me, but on my
You're a
phone,
bit
I don't
frozen
know.
before.
But I'm back. Yeah, that's good. That's why I was vamping a little bit with my head because no one could hear it. But anyway, but for my personal number one on Letterboxd is Mary Poppins. But in terms of this, I think Roger Rabbit does live action animation hybrid better. I'm going to be Roger Rabbit. Brian, what did you go?
There be any red killed you brought a talk just like this, Roger Rabbit.
But with that, we've reached the end of this list and topic. I'll have a poll up in a bit with the topics from next week. But our top 12, at number 12, we've got The Last Action Hero. At 11, we've got Rocky and Bullwinkle. At 10, we've got The Pagemaster. At 9, we've got Space Jam. At 8, we've got Bedknobs and Broomsticks. At 7, we've got Mary Poppins Returns. At 6, we've got Looney Tunes Back in Action. At 5, we've got James and the Giant Peach. At 4, we've got the Spongebob Squarepants movie. At 3, we've got the Lego movie. At 2, we've got Mary Poppins. And number 1 is Who Framed Roger Rabbit. But with that, we've reached the end of the show. Brian, where can people find you online?
Sure, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. I do tier record fights sometimes on Jordan's channel, Movie Hero. I just did tournament fights a few days ago, talking about best game shows. I was on Nerd Entertainment Network talking about Armin and Leica, and I'm currently in Movie Battles Trivia League.
Richie, where can people find you online?
Yeah, just catch me around. Sort of fan, mainly here in Full Metal and stuff. Yeah, just on Facebook. Like if you like that kind of thing. Yeah. I don't have anything specific to plug, but yeah, you'll see me around.
But with that, you can find me on Take 3 hosting Rankum every Saturday. I'll have a poll up for next week's topic in just a bit. You can find me tomorrow on Late Night Take 3 talking about the Emmy Awards along with other movie news and stuff which I've compiled. And you can also find me over on Full Metal, where I host Full Metal Random as well as Full Metal Classic on Sundays. I'm taking a break this week, so there won't be a classic tomorrow. But with that being said, till next time.
Just
I'm
give
going to
me
get
all
some
the bacon
lunch.
and eggs you have.
So. And keep listing shit because